This is traditional stuff. Oh gosh, hold on. This is going to start doing this stuff now. One second, guys. Sorry about this. I thought I had stopped it from doing that autofocus thing, but nope. Let's change the color up a little bit. I was wondering why it looks so washed out. There we go. All right, there we go, guys. So the Hierophant's coming up as your underlying energy, and the Hierophant's the prescribed path. It's the traditional way, right? The things that we've always been used to doing. That's why this looks very religious. That's like the Pope, right? The traditions and rules of religion. Doesn't have to be religion. It can be the traditions and rules of our family, of society. You know, you can't date this person or that person or be that way. It's whatever is traditional. I've talked about this. Someone asked me last week, you know, which is my least favorite card. And I don't actually have a least favorite at all right now. But at certain times, I've not liked certain cards. And the Hierophant, when I first started learning the tarot, was one of the cards I didn't like. But that's because it's about conformity. We choose to conform. Even the person who's like the non-conformist, who says, I don't conform to anything, they still conform to something. It's a choice that we follow, right? We might have different traditions that are not traditional, but they're traditional for us, if that makes sense. Like other people might not. They might be weird to other people, but for us, they are what they are. That's your thing this week. Do you follow the prescribed path or do you go in a different direction? Now, that's a big question here. A big question. Why? Why do I feel that? Because we have the Emperor coming up at the heart of this. This is about control. This is about taking back control, taking back power. The Emperor has one of two things when he comes up. And again, right, sitting next to the Hierophant. So, you know, some of you might be, look at the energies coming up. We have Virgo, Aries, Taurus. Remember, the signs don't own the cards. They just lend their characteristics to the energy, to the cards. But with the Emperor coming up here, he usually has one of two messages. One, stop being so stubborn. Try to consider other ways of doing things. Or, you know, step up and take control. Step up and be the boss, because the Emperor is the boss, the father figure. He's the authority figure in the tarot. He brings order. He decides. He doesn't do things by committee. Now, I'm going to come back to these two in just a moment, but you have the Eight of Pentacles coming up as a pastoral foundation energy. Boy, have you put in some hard work into something. Big time. Doesn't have to be a job. Could be, you know, it can be a relationship. It can be yourself, your own shadow work, your spirituality, whatever it is. You know, you've put in a lot of time and effort into something to create something new. The whole point of this, have a look. He's always focused on the pentacle that he's working on. He doesn't care how many he's created. Has he discarded that one because it wasn't perfect? This is about trying to get the work that you want it to be perfect. So it takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of effort to get this. And he doesn't mind doing it because he knows he's the apprentice who's trying to become the master at this. Now, in whatever area you've put in the effort, it's because you wanted to get it right. You saw a future here. You know, you see this as, I'm going to get something out of this. This is my long-term security and stability depends on this. So if we weren't looking at that bottom row, if we're just looking at this is something you put so much work into. And a lot of the signs got this, you know, so much effort's gone into something. But it kind of feels, I mean, I'm getting so much the kind of sense of rules, traditions. This is how it's meant to be. This is, you know, what you have to do. And very much so. I mean, I always give that example for the Hierophant anyway, but it works really well with the whole of this. Everyone in the family is a doctor. You must be a doctor too. Or everyone works in the family business. You must work in the family business too. You know, that's kind of the energy here. But guys, it's almost like you're breaking away from that. Why do I say that? Because in the present, we have the Ace of Cups. And this is something new. We feel something new now. We, you know, maybe the work that, it doesn't say actually whether, you know, you're unhappy. There's no kind of like difficult energies coming up here. It's not about being unhappy with what was. There's something new that's calling to you emotionally. There's something new in your cup. The Ace of Cups is about emotional growth. It's about spiritual growth, happiness, new love, right? A second chance at love, whatever it is. We're doing something new, beautiful energy. The Ace of Cups is absolutely beautiful energy to come up because there's hope here, right? We see the potential. With the aces, we always see the potential for something that you're doing now. It's going to get you to the 10 of Cups because that's the cycle. Ace of Cups to the 10 of Cups. But it's about knowing what is in your cup. How do you feel? And believe it or not, this Ace of Cups actually throws a spanner in the works here. Because this is how it should be. I mean, this can be a boss. This can be your father or a father figure or someone who's saying, yeah, good job. We're doing this, in control. And you've done the work. You've done it. You chose to follow this path. But I just get the sense with the Ace of Cups coming up here, something else is calling to you at heart level. There's something new that you've seen here now. It's almost like, I don't want to toe that line anymore. I've found something else that makes me happy. Now, I want to say this to you. So the Ace of Cups sits beneath the Hierophant. Hierophant, like I said, is tradition, right? Whatever it has been, it's always been that way. That's the Hierophant. This is new energy. Absolutely something new. So I'm telling you now, this is something, I mean, in very rare cases, and there may be a few of you, you have a newfound love for what you've been doing. And that'd be great if it is that. But then this energy does not make sense if that's the case. I kind of feel like it's something new. It's something new. And that's the spanner in the works, because now that dilemma comes up. That if I've put so much time and effort into something, if I've been towing the line, if I've always followed these rules, if, I've always followed the emperor, or, I don't get that. I think it's telling you to step up and be the emperor. Take control of this. You don't need this anymore. You don't need those traditions. You don't need that towing the line. And I get it, the water signs always accuse me of having an Aquarian agenda when I interpret the cards. So that's why I'm trying to explain it very clearly. Because the Hierophant is traditional. This is new. This is new. How do you go from the Eight of Pentacles to the Ace of Cups? How do you do that? And like I said, for some of you, yeah, it might be that you just did it before because of, the payoff, the future payoff. Now you've got a newfound love for it, which is great if that happens. But you still must step up and take control with the Emperor. This is about new ways of doing things coming in. No more of this. This is very secure energy. And that's why the Hierophant and the Emperor, they have their places. The Emperors can create all day and all night. It's the Emperor who comes in and brings order to the situation and says, all right, we're going to do this. And that's not about being sexist or about genders. We all have the divine masculine, the divine feminine within each of us. So it's not about being sexist or anything. It's just about, that's the energy of everyone has their own vibration. And the Emperor brings order. He runs an empire, right? He has to be like that. So are you going to honor what this is? Now, if you do, look at the next two cards. We have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is the spy, right? There's and I know sometimes the Page of Swords gets called the stalker. But even then, if you're stalking, if you're spying, whatever, what is the point? What is the core energy of that? To get more information. To get more information. The Page is nowhere near, the level of the kings and queens, let alone the knights of swords. So the pages, they're very immature energy. They lack the experience. It's not about being childish. It's just that they lack the experience. They don't know what to do with what they have. So this Page of Swords here, it kind of feels like you get some information. You get some information here. But what are you going to do with it? Ask more questions. This could be a misunderstanding. I mean, the truth is the truth, right? But, and the court cards of the Suit of Swords, they always speak the truth. Like even now, I keep kind of fumbling over my words when I'm trying to talk. And trust me, I've done readings before this. I did a few client readings before I finished up and sat for these. I was talking fine. So it's not that. It just feels like that's the situation here. Either someone's tripping up over their words, they don't know what they're saying, or you don't know what to make of the information that you have. So get more information. Ask for an explanation here. And that's where the Emperor energy might come in, where you kind of go in and say, okay, well, what's actually going on here? What are you offering me? Or what do we have to work with? Now, if this was an old job that you were doing, so let's look at it that way, a job that you were doing, you were with a company, now your boss might be offering you something new, right? Or you've said that, I don't know if I want to do this career anymore. I'd like to go for something else. Do your research. That's what the Page of Swords says. Do your research at the very least. If this is a relationship, if this is very kind of like, dated the same kind of people. I have a type of person, or I've been this way in relationships, brand new. Exploring something new here with that Page of Swords. And the thing is, when the page energies come up, we're going to stumble. Whenever we try something new, we're going to stumble a little bit because we don't know. We don't have the experience, right? It's brand new to us. So it doesn't really surprise me that the advice here is the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is not about, it's not about going off alone. Some people do that for Hermit mode, but you don't have to. You can go into Hermit mode in a room full of people. This is about taking a step back. Taking a step back. I feel like everyone, Cancer, is telling you what you should be doing. Whereas the Ace of Cups here is very much telling you, forget what everyone else says. Whether it's your family, whether it's society, whether it's your religious beliefs, whatever it is. You choose to conform. You choose to follow that path, right? So which path resonates with you, with how you feel? Go and explore that direction, even if it's something new. The Hermit is a card of self-empowerment. It's a very empowering card. So I don't like it when it gets treated as just, someone who's on their own or, someone who's lonely. It's Virgo, the card for Virgo. Virgo's very discerning. Virgo looks at all the facts. Virgo figures out what's going on here. What do we need? What do we keep? What needs to go? But the Hermit does that within. That all the answers lie within the Hermit. That's why there's never anything around him, because he's not getting the answers from outside of him. And I'm sorry to say this, Cancer, or, great to say this. I think it's very empowering, but as much as you're looking for answers, I get it, but first you must be clear where you are yourself, because you've put a hell of a lot of effort into something. Either that taught you something about what you want out of a situation, or you have your own ideas now because you went through this, whatever it was. I mean, you took it from the Ace of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. You were with this for a while. So it's taught you something. You've learned something from this about what you think of as your stability and security. And there are some people, and I don't know why it's coming out like this, but sometimes I've met people before. I'm very much like, don't tell me what to do kind of person. That I think if people love me, they will accept me for how I am and kind of let me go off on my merry little way. Even if I'm tripping up, falling over and stuff, they'll understand that it's for my own highest good that I want to follow that path. But some people have the opposite effect. They kind of think that, if you're not asking me how I am, if you're not almost telling me what to do, then you don't care about me. So, where do you kind of fall on that? And I kind of feel like those are the kind of questions coming up, because this feels very safe and secure. But there is a new direction opening up here, and it kind of throws you on an internal level. That's where it's coming up. But the prospect of something new and beautiful is coming in here. And so think about it, whatever it is, work, family, hobbies, love, romance, whatever, that's where the bravery, I kind of feel like it is about coming into your own power here with the Hermit. And the answer is in you. Only you know. Only you can say if it's worth it for all the time and effort that you've put in to explore this something new. Because, yeah, you love it. It makes you happy. But that would be starting again. Let's not kind of dance around that bush. It is starting again. Or a second chance. A new cycle begins. You're not continuing from here. You're doing something new here. But this is very practical. This is emotionally fulfilling. And I feel like you need more information before you can ask anyone else questions. Like if it's someone else, what do you plan to do? Whatever. Or go talk to your boss even. Or, a father figure. That could be an elder in a church or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Before you do that, please try to figure out where you stand. That's the Hermit, the advice. How do you truly feel? Have a look at this. Don't just discount the Ace of Cups. Then you'll know which questions to ask. Then you'll know what research to do. Then you'll know what information that you need. Because right now, I kind of get the sense that it will just be more people telling you what to do. And that's the last thing that you need right now. Is more people kind of with their, oh yeah, do this. Have a look. We've got three major arcanas. So half the cards are major arcana energy. That is a big change in your life coming in. Major arcana. It's the life path. The changes that come in the life path. Now we always have a choice, right? But two of them are authority figures. One of them, the advice, no less, is your own power. Your own power. So this can play out in a number of different ways. But let's get you some oracle cards. I will say this. If some of you, it's a general reading, so it can go both ways. If you've got someone that's very central to your story right now, this might explain why if someone backs off, you think it's something new and amazing, you're thinking, why are they backing off? So we have Imagine coming up. Yes, everything starts off as a dream. Everything starts off with our imagination, with an emotion. We always manifest from our vibrations, right? There is something that's calling to you here. But this is about turning that dream, that wish, that imagination into reality. Into reality. Now, I will tell you this, whether this could be last week, last month, last year, whenever. If you could put in so much time and effort into something, which, you know, you were just, I should do this, and you did it so diligently, imagine what you can achieve when you're putting in that much effort into something that really calls to your heart. Really calls to your heart. I think the most difficult thing with a reading like this, like I said, it's the courage aspect. Because sometimes when we why do we follow the prescribed path? Because the rules are written for us. We know what to do, right? We have the steps in front of us. We can just follow the steps that have been dictated to us. Well, everyone's always done this, so I'll do that too. It's when we venture out on our own, when we look at what we want. You know, we might have a different dream and then there's no path for that. There's almost like a sense of, with this Page of Swords coming up and, you know, just the combination of energies here. Because sometimes I feel the energies as other tarot cards. It feels like the Fool. Like this is a leap of faith. It is a leap of faith because you don't have the information. All you know right now is how you feel. But that's an amazing thing as well. There are so many people out there that don't even know how they feel. Or they're not in touch with what their emotions are. But you know. You know.